Good, good. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Nice to see you. So, how is it going?
Yeah, it's going good. Prasanth.
Okay,
So I
okay.
have
Yeah.
a few, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
have few questions. I have listed down those in our sheet.
Yeah. Please ask. Tell me.
Actually, I mean, those questions are related. I mean, we required a basic videos on those questions.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
Sure,
so
sure.
like charge testing using journaling.
Okay.
Current market is expecting that charge testing
Okay.
and network performance testing as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, scheduling the JMeter test in Azure pipelines and GitHub. Yesterday, I have asked you in the WhatsApp the same.
Yeah.
So, and a basic analysis on thread dump, GC heat dump analysis.
Mm. Yeah, I think I have shared you the thread dump and heap dump. It's already there, and I think I have shared you the link. Have you checked the Excel sheet?
In Excel sheet, nowhere we have mentioned.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
So it is a fifth row. It is in fifth row.
Okay. Let me share you my screen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just show you. Down. Yeah. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, yeah. Now I can able to see.
Okay, I can see it. Okay, sure. And let me open the Excel sheet. Yeah. So
Fifth row.
fifth one. Yeah, this one. Okay. Yep. So I have actually created videos on that. I mean the thread dump and heap dump. I can show you that.
Uh-huh.
Um, just a second. Yeah. So this video actually I have created for the thread dump. You can show you this one. Yeah. This is the one. And this is actually dealing with the thread dump, like how to deal with the thread dump. And I have even given you an example with the JMeter thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
One doubt.
Mm,
If you don't mind. So this is with visual VM, right?
yeah, Visual VM. Yeah.
So the tool can be anything, but the approach will be same, right?
Yeah. The thread state will always be the same, right? No matter what the tool we are going to use, the
Uh-huh.
thread is going to be the same. The state of the thread and what to say,
Okay.
the issues that we are seeing. So if even if I'm recording this, I mean like capturing this in another tool, it's going to be the same thing.
Okay. Okay. So see, in my organization, what we are doing is see, we use the JMC tool actually.
Sorry, what's
I
that
mean
tool?
JMC Java Machine Control.
Okay.
It is upgraded version of VM actually Visual VM.
Okay.
So it is a Java native tool only.
Mhm.
So what we do is, I mean, I don't have much exposure on Threadums. Currently, I'm having 3.7 years of experience. I mean, I didn't
Mhm.
get
Mhm.
much chance to, I mean, chance to work on Threadums and Heapdums. So
Okay.
what we do is, see, we capture the Threadums.
Mhm. Okay.
So we use that a JMC tool.
Okay.
So the approach, no, so whenever we see the latency, right, in the response time.
Uh-huh.
The first approach will be like we go with the application logs. First, we'll
Okay.
check the application logs. So
Okay.
where we can see the breakup of the API. I mean, there will be late from maybe the downstream server or upstream server. Maybe
Mhm.
the API will be calling other services too, right?
Okay.
So we go in that way. I mean, is that the right way to do the analysis?
Okay, so firstly, let me tell you. So you have okay. So what type of protocol you're using? Is that the API applications or is that a video web applications?
API.
APIs. Okay, okay.
Yes.
So you are running APIs and they were Java applications or like what?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
Java.
fine.
Java.
So in that case, you can use the well, like you can make use of the thread dumps and.
Hmm.
Are you okay? And you are able to see the transactions in your profiler, right? I mean, like the tool. Is that right?
Oh,
I mean, like
transactions
transaction
kind of
sense, at least you are able to
thread
correlate
IDs we can see.
thread IDs you can
Thread
see.
IDs, yeah, yeah. The thread IDs, no, so we can see the thread IDs in applications logs. So
Mm-hmm,
what exactly the thread ID is doing.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So based on the thread ID, we'll go to the thread dumps. So what
mm-hmm,
that thread, I mean, which method it is calling. So
mm-hmm,
we do check all those things.
mm-hmm,
So till that I can able to do something. I mean, what is the thread state and all we
mm-hmm,
can see. Or else there is other approach we used to do. So whenever the application is slow, right?
mm-hmm.
So we used to do top command.
Yeah,
So there is a other command called top hyphen bhp pid. So what pid in the sense whatever the pid is consuming
yeah, the
more
process
resources.
ID. Yeah.
Yeah, we give that pid. So it will give the child threads.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So
okay.
we there is a command print percentage x the child ID that it will convert the child ID into the thread ID. I mean the thread.
Mm-hmm,
So we take the thread and we go to the thread dump and we'll check
mm-hmm,
what is the thread state.
mm-hmm.
So that is another approach.
Okay, okay. So in every possible scenario that you are doing, you are trying
Yeah.
to actually understand what happened to that thread, and that's what
Yes.
even is shown here.
Yeah.
Like let me open the visual view. I'll show you. Just a second.
I mean, I'm not sure whether I have see whatever the things I have explained, no, that is the
Mm-hmm.
right approach or not. But
Mm-hmm.
so that is what I mean. For my learning, I'm doing it.
Yeah, yeah, that should not be a problem. But yeah, I mean, like you have a very good understanding of the tool. But okay, let
Yeah.
me show you. Come on here. Okay, so yeah, in fact, I have even told the same in the video as well. So when the moment when you capture the thread dump, so whatever threads that are running at that moment,
Yeah.
they will be captured. Okay, and
Yes. Yeah.
along with their state and everything. Like so if since it's saying
Yeah.
like runnable, but although it's showing as runnable, but still if you can see, it's like waiting on a condition, right?
Waiting. Yeah.
It's
Correct.
waiting on a
Yeah.
condition and it has thread ID. So whatever you said is the same. So every tool
Yeah.
captures the same. And once you keep on studying this, you can understand like for what exactly is that waiting. So here, if you can see, it's like it's showing like wait for
Waiting for.
reference pending list, right? So which means it's
Okay.
like waiting for another object or another thread or some reference. So same
Okay.
way, you can see like for everything. Like here, if you can see, it's like it's right. It's like waiting. It's like waiting in
Waiting.
object wait. So
Okay.
the same way, you can understand. I mean, like this one, I have used it from. I mean, like I took a dump of the JMeter because JMeter is a Java application. So
Yeah.
what it is like, I have executed Java in my machine and then I have took it up. Okay, and then I have
Okay.
captured this. So this is a pure Java application, and all these threads were the JMeter threads.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so like you said, you are like capturing the threads while you are running your API testing, and you're
Yeah.
capturing it. So what kind of blockers do you face actually? Like, what is your actual issue? Like, were you able to correlate your APIs with the transactions you're
Yeah.
running, or
See,
how is
see.
that?
Yeah. 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 So I'm coming to that. So whenever I see the issue, right? I mean, see, I correlate with the thread dumps.
Hmm,
So
hmm.
there might be a issue with the some of the thread. It is like we are checking the thread states. That is the
Okay,
first approach.
okay.
That is what I know.
Hmm,
So after that approach, see if the thread is waiting for, I mean, like more than SLA.
hmm. Okay,
So
okay.
that would be a issue.
Yeah, true,
Definitely, that
true,
would be a issue.
true.
So after that, so I wanted to give a suggestion. So
mm,
I
mm.
wanted to give a suggestion to them. So change this thing. I mean, so that we can get a good performance on the application. So how can I do that? I mean, do we need coding knowledge for that?
Okay, there were like several reasons for your response times. For example, if you
Yeah,
were running an API and that
yeah,
particular API is having some database actions, like for example,
uh-huh.
it's like trying to query some data,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
it's
yeah.
trying to insert some data, or it's trying to update some
Hmm.
data. Okay, so you have to first understand what exactly is that API doing. So, for example,
Yeah,
in a scenario like
yeah,
you are searching for some data, okay,
yeah.
and if the API is taking more time, there can be a reason where you are trying to take data which is not required for that scenario. For example, we all know there is a query, right? Select star from query.
Yeah, yeah,
So when you are running a select star from, that will take all the data from the table rather than the
yeah.
required fields, right? So that's an example. Like you have to understand what exactly is that API doing, because since you said you are able to correlate it, so which means like you can find exactly which exact API is taking more time, right? So firstly, you
Mm-hmm.
have to understand whether your query is taking all the data you are required, or it's just taking only the exact data which you are required for that particular transaction. Okay, so first you have to identify that, and then if that is happening, so the next part is you have to find whether that particular transaction, the same transaction, is having the same data. Okay, so you confirm that, okay, you need the query is taking the exact set of data that is required for that particular transaction. But still, if it is taking more time, what you can do is like you can add the indexing part. So,
Yeah, yeah. I did that
mm,
wasn't
mm,
actually in the recent
mm, mm,
debugging. No, I did the
mm,
same. So if we say, like you said, if we are using the query like select star from the table, I mean the particular table, the table might be having a lot of data.
mm, mm.
The query might be scanning the table, which is having
True.
more data. So definitely it will be a time consuming process. No? So for our API, which data is required, we
Mm,
can create an
mm.
index for that data so that
True.
directly it can go to that index,
Mm.
get the data.
True, true. So
But
that is another. Yeah, yeah. Tell me.
yeah,
Go ahead.
sorry. So and one more thing is creating index is also not a solution,
It's
right?
not a long-term
Sometimes.
solution, I would say. Yeah, that's true, because uh, if there is a change in the data, and again there will be again a slowdown. So what I would say is it's a temporary solution, but not a long-term solution. So in those scenarios, I mean, like see, there were like several other things to do the caching. So I mean, sorry, to do the improvement. Okay. So
Yeah.
firstly, let me ask you. So even after you did indexing, is that issue
Mhm.
fixed, or it was still there?
Yeah, it is fixed actually. It is
Ah,
fixed.
okay, okay.
It is fixed. The thing is, no. So whatever the projects I'm handling currently, I'm working in
Hmm, hmm,
e-commerce platform.
hmm, hmm,
I mean, you maybe heard about Agio.
hmm. Yeah,
Agio.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
working
Yeah,
for
I'm
Agio.
in Azure. Yeah, I'm in Azure. Yeah, tell me.
Agio.
Oh, sorry. Ye
Agio.
Okay, okay.
Geo, you know
Oh,
Mintra, right?
okay, okay, okay. Yeah.
Agio is there, right? I mean, that is a
Okay,
e-commerce platform,
okay, okay.
fashion lifestyle. So I'm working for that e-commerce
Hmm.
platform. Actually, will be having a huge traffic. I mean, any e-commerce application in the market will be having a huge traffic, right?
Hmm.
So, so see the projects which I'm handling is using less data only. I mean, not the much more data actually. So
Okay.
I'm handling the two projects.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so it is handling the less data only. I mean, I see the queries are taking time. I mean, not frequently, intermittently it was.
Hmm.
So I did the research and I created the index. Though it gave me the solution actually. I mean, after the creating indexes, right? I mean, I'm not seeing any performance issue in the query side.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
But
Okay.
in the study, know what I got to know is see, creating indexes is not a permanent solution,
Hmm.
but temporary it may help.
Yeah. True. True.
Temporarily it may help actually. I mean, instead of creating indexes, not tuning the queries may help in the long term.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw. I mean, whatever I read now, so I saw the same thing in that document.
I agree. I agree. So have you gave that recommendation like to fine tune the query that they were using?
No, 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 no. I haven't given. See, that is what. See, and I mean, see, I don't have knowledge at TB as
Hmm,
well.
hmm, hmm,
I mean, the querying the things and all.
hmm, hmm,
I don't have knowledge actually. See,
hmm,
I want to get exposure on see what giving the recommendations to the teams
hmm,
actually.
hmm, hmm. So
So that
in
is
that
what I'm
case,
looking.
I would
Mm-hmm.
suggest you this method of doing it. Okay, so firstly, try to find which query is taking more time, or like which query is involved in that particular transaction. Get that query,
Okay.
and
Mm-hmm.
anyways, it should just check whether it's a select query or it's a kind of an update query, or what kind of query, I mean, like what
Mm-hmm.
action is doing. So get that
Sure.
query and run that in the dev database. Okay, and try to
Okay.
find what is it doing. So well, like mostly
Mm-hmm.
you will know what is it doing by reading the query, but if it is
Yeah.
a select query, just try to run that query in the dev environment, which is the lower environment, and try to find
Uh-huh.
how much time is it taking.
Okay.
And just I mean, like again, run that query. I mean, like if it's mostly a select query, you can even run that in the production database and see how much time it's taking. Mostly it will be taking more time in production because there will be like more data in the production. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can you have to bifurcate it and try to find whether it is taking excess data more than it is
Mm-hmm.
required. And like I think you can start practicing it. Like you can start doing the tuning because see, most of us wanted to move from performance testing to performance engineering, but
Yeah.
this is one of the way to move from I mean, move towards the performance engineering role. Okay, so
Yeah.
you can very well start doing it, and meanwhile, you can also see how much data, I mean, like how much CPU and memory is taking while it is
Mm-hmm.
running. I mean, like again, what database are you using? Is that a SQL Server or MySQL?
Oracle.
Oracle. Oh, okay,
Oracle.
Oracle.
Oracle and Mongo we
DB.
use.
Okay. So it's good you are using Oracle because there is another opportunity you have when you're running Oracle. You can collect the AWR reports.
AWR. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We used to do that
Ah,
actually.
great. So even if you're collecting AWR reports, that AWR report will tell you what query is taking more time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And like how much time is it taking. So you can correlate all these things like your threadums, your AWR report, and then meanwhile if you are running it manually, you can find how much time is it taking. So all these will help you to fine tune it. So the first thing is like you are like, I would say, you have crossed the 50% of the issue. So you know what exactly is taking more time. So the
Yeah.
only thing which I recommend you is like you have to run that query and see whether the query is taking only the required data or is taking the data outside your scope. And you have
Mm-hmm.
to give a tuning suggestion, and then you can bring down the response time. So this is what I would recommend you to do.
Sure, 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 sure. Vasan. So, Vasan, and one more thing,
Mhm.
so see, thread dumps we are collecting. No, see, we need to collect the thread dumps during the PT or after the PT.
During the PT.
During the PT, so it will become again a overhead to the server, right?
Uh,
Again, it is a resource consumption, right?
it it is a thread dump. I mean, like it's a okay.
Because see, uh, but thread. I mean, it is again a Java process. No?
Yeah, I agree that.
Yeah.
Okay, so see, there are two things. Okay, so first is if you are taking it during the testing, so
Mhm.
you can collect the real time data, like okay, what exactly is happening to the threads. And
Mhm.
like for example, if you are facing a high CPU usage or if there are any deadlocks, you can collect the thread
Mhm.
dumps. Okay, so like the scenario what most of us do. But when you are collecting after testing, you can investigate the root cause as well. Like I would suggest, okay, see, when you were trying to collect after the testing,
Mhm.
what thread will be running during that time?
Okay.
Okay, so when you are collecting during the testing, you will know there are like some threads running, right? But
Yeah.
when you are running after the testing, you will, all the threads will be almost cleared, or there won't be any threads
Yeah.
running, right? So that
Yeah.
is the reason we recommend you to take the threads during the, I mean, the thread dump during the testing, because that is when the threads are active.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I agree. It will take some memory from your machine while it's doing, but still, I think it's just a snapshot, right? It's just a matter of seconds it will take, and then yeah, after that, it won't be disturbing the machines.
So
So, mhm,
we can, so in that case, we can take a thread loop in a loop, right? I mean, waiting for. I
mm,
mean, suppose
mm,
I'm running a test for 5 seconds. Sorry, 5 minutes.
mm.
So I can run a command with the loop for sleep for 5 seconds and take a thread down. Then again sleep for 5 seconds and take a thread down. So will it be like? I mean, make sense?
So you
I
are
mean,
saying that you are going to run the thread dump for every 5 minutes?
every 5 seconds for 5 minutes duration.
No, I don't think that will satisfy, because see, a 5 minute of test will not bring anything. Okay, so usually the garbage collection or any memory
Mhm.
retention or memory clearing activity would need at least a 15 minutes of testing. Okay, because you have
Yeah,
to
yeah, I agree.
continuously.
But
Hmm,
thing is, no, we do 5 minutes test only. Actually, generally we
okay.
don't do tests in. Earlier we were doing tests in production. That is in hours. I mean,
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
it is in half hours, like early
Oh, yeah,
morning,
after office hours,
2
yeah.
o'clock.
Hmm,
Yeah. During that time we were doing, so again. We requested the organization to get the environment. I
hmm,
mean, for
hmm,
the performance testing itself.
hmm, hmm,
So generally we do tests for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. That's it.
hmm.
If we require, we go with like 5 hours or 6 hours. That is a endurance test. I
Hmm,
mean
hmm,
that is on
hmm,
requirement basis only.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
Generally, we do regression testings only. Wasn't say for every release, no, say whatever the TPS we were getting, right, the same TPS we should get in the next build as well. I mean the other build with the
I
changes.
understand. Okay, okay.
So that is what we were. That is what the approach we are going through actually.
Okay, okay.
So, and one more suggestion which my team has given is, we are not collecting any thread dumps and heat dumps. Just we are giving the arguments in the JVM arguments as well. So
Hmm,
heap dump
hmm,
out
hmm,
of memory, heap dump on out of memory error, and GC logs. So there is a argument which where we can pass in the JVM arguments.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
It will collect the GC logs and store it in the folder. Same way, there is a file called JFR file, Java Flight Recorder.
Mhm. Okay, okay,
So it is an advanced version of JVM.
okay.
So it is a lightweight process which will collect the JFR when we put load on the server.
Okay,
So
okay.
it will collect the JFR, it will store in the folder. So again, we run a cron jobs so to clear the JFR files.
Hmm,
I
hmm.
mean, maybe after 72 hours.
Okay.
So we use that JFR file. In the JFR file, now we can see everything.
Hmm, hmm,
So
hmm.
in Visual VM, I don't think we can see everything other than that thread dumps. So in the JFR, we can able to see thread dumps, socket, uh, locked instances,
Hmm, hmm,
GC summary,
hmm.
etc. I mean, we can see those things
Okay.
all
See,
together in the file.
one advantage I would say when compared to Visual VM, actually the
Mhm.
JFR is a kind of a lightweight tool. So that has
Yeah.
actually a minimum impact on your application performance. So
Yes.
I think that's the reason you were able to use the JFR in your production environment. And also, I think there are mechanisms to do the continuous monitoring as well, right? So
Uh-huh.
you can continuously collect data about the JVM during the time. So again, yeah, I would say it's a very good tool, and in fact, I think you can even capture the garbage collection. So were you able to see the garbage collection in that particular point of like the 5 minutes of time, or like?
Yes,
Uh,
yes, I can able to see.
mm,
Actually, there is a argument called print
mm,
GC.
mm, mm.
I'm not sure what is the argument. I mean,
Yeah, it's for
I
the
forgot that.
garbage collection. Yeah, yeah. Tell me.
Yeah, yeah, it will, and GC timestamps also.
Mm,
So it
mm,
will collect
mm,
the GCs and store it in the folder. So whenever we do PT, we collect the GCs for the particular time,
mm, mm,
and
mm.
we correlate that GCs with our this one
Okay,
PT duration.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Good. Actually, yeah, I would say like just to summarize. So this is actually a safe tool to do the profiling. In fact, I think I can even prepare a video on this, like how to do and everything. But yeah, coming to your issue. So, are you still facing issues, or like are you working on the tuning planning? How is it going in terms of that?
So the thing is, that is what, see, I can able to do the basic analysis. It's, whatever the analysis side I'm doing now, no, that I will call it as a basic only,
Mm,
because
mm, mm,
say I'm not giving any suggestions.
mm,
Just I
mm,
can find out the problem statement itself.
mm,
So
mm,
I cannot able to give the solutions.
mm, mm,
So that is a major problem I'm
mm.
facing now.
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, see, what I feel is if you want to give the solution, definitely we would require coding knowledge. That is what I'm thinking now. So I'm not sure.
So, see, firstly, I would
If I,
say everybody like who joins IT, we would require coding knowledge. But in some scenarios, like people who are working in testing or in data
Mhm.
part, so they have very less exposure on coding, I would say.
Yeah.
So, but still, I would say the first thing is like analytical skills is more than enough. Okay, once you see,
Mm-hmm.
if you are able to read what exactly is in the screen, then
Hmm.
go, like, in days of time, you can understand. Okay, so this particular thing is somewhere in the code, and that is bringing the issue, or that is doing the issue. So, firstly, like if you can read, if you can understand what exactly is there, then that's enough. It's kind of a reverse engineering. So the developers
Uh-huh.
will come from the code to the issue, but what we are doing is like we are going from the backside. So we are approaching the code first, and then we are trying to break it, and we are trying to understand. Okay, so this particular code or this particular query is taking more time,
Yeah.
right? So and
Yeah.
again, since you are telling it's mostly into API, so I don't think there is any like any dependencies. Like so for example, like is that bringing any API, JPEG, or is that bringing any JS files? So mostly it should be dealing with the data, and data in the
Hmm.
sense like it is
Yeah.
trying to bring some data to your system, or it's like trying to
Correct.
bring some
Correct.
data
Correct.
to the table. Yeah. So
Yeah.
my first suggestion is this is what I would do. I would take the query, run it in different environments, and see how much time is it taking, because again there is a reason is like in the dev environment we all know it will have very less number of data, so the query will run very quick, and the same thing
Yeah.
happens with the other environments, like it will take a
So
little
we
more time.
have separate perf environment version which
Mm,
is equivalent to production.
mm, mm. Okay.
So production there will be more servers. So here we are having less server with the same configuration.
Mm, mm.
Configuration will be same but less servers.
So when you say config, are you sure that they both have the same amount of data, or is that there will be like a little
Amount
difference?
of data also maybe vary because
Ah.
there might be having more databases,
Mm, mm, mm.
server database servers. So here we might be having hardly two or one.
Yeah, and I think most of the data will be masked because of all the data
Hmm.
security thing and everything. Like you'll be having
Yeah,
data, but still they'll be masked, or they will be like a kind of a manipulated data.
encrypted.
Yeah, encrypted data. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, firstly, I would suggest you to run that query and see, or like
Mhm.
just understand. You can even talk to the team, like the database team or the development team, and understand what query. So, were you able to find which query is running in that API?
I can able to find since we can see in the AWS report.
Which is consuming more time. Yeah, yeah, that's what I said. Like
Yes.
if it's an Oracle, but other than see the AWS report, you can get the top five queries or the
Mhm.
maximum queries that's been taking more time. But
Mhm.
try to correlate that with this particular transaction. Okay, so
Yeah, yeah, I can see.
mm,
I have a good exposure on whatever the
good,
projects
good.
I'm handling. No? So see, so hardly we are having, so per project we are having maybe 5 or 6 APIs.
Mm, mm.
So I can able to tell which API is getting which data
Okay,
because
okay,
I have that exposure on the project actually.
good. Then
So
then
I
you
can
you
able
are
to.
already there. Then you know what exactly is happening. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So then I can able to correlate with the query, say whatever the approach you have set now. So
mm,
executing the query in the maybe we are using SQL developer or
mm, mm,
some other DB viewer, we
mm.
can execute the query there,
Good.
and we can check see
Mm,
what exactly it is getting from the database, whether it is getting required data or excess data.
exactly. Yeah.
If it is getting excess data, then that would be a issue.
Then we should need to change the query. Like for example,
Query.
if you are running the select star from R, even if you are running,
Yeah.
if you are picking some other columns as well, you have to reduce the
Mhm.
columns. So
Yeah.
automatically, the time it's taking to bring all the values will be reduced,
Mhm.
right? Because
Okay.
everybody who hits that particular transaction, they're all doing
Mm.
a search transaction, right? So
Yeah.
when you are running a multiple, like for example, like 1000 people or more than 10,000 people are trying to do some, I mean, we normally do like yeah, I just even went into their application and found out it's kind of an online shopping application, and there were like
Ah.
a lot of categories. Yeah, so people must be searching for some items, and because I
Yeah.
think mostly people do the search items, right? They want to find their favorite items immediately when they want to see, so they do
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
in that case, it might be taking more time. Again, I could see like there were like lots and lots of other than the apparels. I could see a lot of other items as well, like home decor, kitchen, dining. Yeah, that's good.
Mhm.
So people with different categories might be your audience, right? So in that
Yeah.
case, yeah, I agree. This kind of applications will normally take a lot of time if the query is not properly tuned. So
Yeah.
firstly, I would say just pick the query, do the dry run, like kind of not the API thing, but do the dry run and see what data it's taking and why is it taking more time. Like, is that because of the data, or I mean, like you said, indexing has fixed, so which means like it has speed up the
Yeah,
query.
yeah, index. Yeah, yeah. So
So
see,
like
for
you
that
said,
also
yeah.
I struggled a lot actually,
Mm,
but
mm,
I don't know. See,
mm,
why these dev guys has that ego. See,
mm, mm.
whatever the suggestions we give, no, they will not accept.
Yeah.
See, whatever the things we are doing, no, so we have, I mean, a good performance in our environment. I don't know why it is taking more time in the production. See, that is what.
Mm,
See, we found the issue. We are giving the suggestions,
mm, mm,
but I don't know why that feeling the dev has on the testers. I'm not sure. I mean, is this the same case in every
mm.
organization, or else I'm not sure why I'm facing in my organization.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, it
Yeah,
happens. It's everywhere. But yeah,
yeah,
so I think you are able to understand what I was saying, right? So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
just try this this week in your with your application,
Sure,
and
sure,
then
sure,
yeah,
definitely.
next week if we have time, like if we are able to catch up in this session again, we can discuss
Sure,
like
sure.
how is it improved, and yeah, like I said, uh, the more we practice, the more we can close the issue. So that's what I would say.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah,
meanwhile, I will try to create some videos on the JFR as well, like how to do the. I mean, like exactly, I would try to replicate your issue in my whatever my local environment I have. So I will just try to do that,
yeah.
and then yeah, we'll
So
basically
one
see.
more approach, what I'm doing is, see, I'm not directly relying on the tools,
Mm,
Vasansi.
mm,
I go with the, see, we are using, our servers are hosted in Linux environment.
mhm. Okay,
I go with the raw data only, raw data analysis. I generally don't depend on the tools actually.
okay, okay,
So to generating the thread dumps, heap dumps, and all, no, we don't use any tools.
okay,
We
okay.
go with the raw data and get the raw data and analyze the raw data
Mhm,
and see the issues. I mean, see, for me personally, so it gave more exposure on debugging skills actually.
okay, okay. Good,
So
good.
tools will give, but yeah, it is automatical. It will give automatically. I mean, it will generate the reports, and there will be. I mean, if you can see the heap dumps, no. I mean, we use the M80 tool actually,
Okay, okay.
memory analyzer tool for the
Oh
heap
yeah,
dump
Maton. Okay,
analysis.
okay, okay. Got it. Yeah,
Mat
yeah.
tool. So I don't have much exposure, but when I open the heap dump node, directly it will show the leak suspect report and whatever the objects is using more memory. I mean, the kind of things it will show.
Mm, mm,
So the approach which I am following is directly going into the first access log of the application
mm,
and seeing which transactions is taking less time.
mm, mm,
Later, I will go with the thread ID. There will be a thread ID in the access log. I will take the thread ID and I will go to the application log where we can see the breakup
True,
of
true,
the API.
true, true. Okay,
So this API is calling that service. We are getting response in this milliseconds. Again, this call is going to the other system. There might be a delay.
true, true. Yeah.
So this breakup I can get.
Okay,
So I mean, this give more exposure on debugging the issues.
okay.
That is what I feel
Yeah,
actually.
this is another way of doing it. See, mostly the tools, what they are doing is trying is like they are trying to help you. They are trying to enhance what you are
Yeah,
monitoring. So that's it. It's not going to anyways bring anything outside your world. So, Sanjay, you there? Okay, okay. Sure.
yeah,
So what I was telling you is, yeah. So see, the way you are approaching with or without tools is not a problem, but the tools will actually help you to get the enhanced view of what you're seeing, because the tools will have some mechanism to go inside the issue and see
Mhm.
what exactly is happening. So that is the only reason people use tools to understand
okay,
the issue. Okay, so I really agree with your way of approaching, because people somebody will some people will actually prefer that way of doing it, like directly going through the application log. But I would say if you want to correlate things, so in that case I would better say that, because you have, I think, luckily you have access to every possible things in the system, like for example the
yeah,
AWR report or the profiling
yeah,
tools, because most of the times, like, we might not be having access, either we'll be using a different database which will not have AWR report, but in your case it's there. So I would say you can
yeah. It is.
maximum utilize those tools, because that's actually a good understanding as well. Because once you are in the market of job search, like having exposure to all these tools or all these techniques and methodologies will actually help you to showcase that you have a lot of knowledge on these things. Okay, so I would say,
Yeah, yeah, actually,
yeah, better use every tools and try to correlate them, try to document them, and uh, once you start documenting and if you start keeping on going on that again and again, you can understand. Okay, so there is some bottleneck that's been raised because of this thing, this particular query or
yeah.
this particular thread or this particular method. I would say even you can drill
Mhm.
down until the method and the function which is calling it. So even the methods, and you can find which object is actually is getting created and it's not getting killed. So you can once you start documenting and once you start correlating those values, I think you can very well understand what is happening.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And one more thing, Vasan, see, while we analyzing the GCs, no, so if the GC is taking more time, then definitely it would be a memory issue, right? I mean, it can't able to switch that memory. I mean, clear that objects.
True, true. See,
So, so, so,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Please go ahead. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
see, when it comes to GC, people normally think it is actually a memory killer, but actually, it will see what exactly is GC doing is it is actually killing the unused object. I mean, it's actually removing the
Yes, yeah,
unused object and it's trying giving
yeah.
some space for you. But what
Correct.
happens is if the GC runs very quickly, which means like if the GC is running every single time, like very often, very
Hmm.
frequent, what will happen is all the memory will be taken for this GC action and not for the actual thing which you are required for. Like for example, instead of doing the application related activity, it is doing the GC. I mean the memory related activity, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Then
in that,
it is like a stop the world event, right?
exactly,
Sorry,
exactly,
if I just-
exactly.
stop
So
the
stop the
world event
world.
in the sense
Hmm, hmm.
it will block all the application threads for the GC time.
Exactly, exactly.
Is my understanding is
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's right. Exactly. So,
Yes.
um, instead of doing the GC multiple times, what you can do is like we have to optimize it. Like for example, we can make the GC to run after a particular amount of memory is being used. Like for example, you can set up a threshold or something like a 60% or 80%. So once the memory is reached to some 70 or 80%, you can run the GC, or like you can even make it like a 30 minutes of GC time. So it won't
Okay.
be running very often, or it won't be
Hmm.
delaying too much. Like so when you are running it not frequently also, what will happen is
Hmm.
the objects will not be removed, and they will be keeping on building, right?
Okay.
And they will be like
Okay.
building, and automatically the memory will be completely utilized. So even at that
Okay.
scenario as well, you can see the bottlenecks, right? So that's what we used to say, like GC is one thing that we have to optimize. It should not run for a long time, or it should not run for a lesser time. So it should run for the proper
Okay.
time, and that you can understand only when you are doing multiple tests. Okay, so
Okay.
only when you're running multiple tests, you can understand, okay, at this point of time, you are getting this issue consistently at this point of time. And even only at this scenarios, we are running the soak test, like for example, like running for a long time, like 8 hours test or something.
Hmm.
So when you're running for
Okay.
8 hours, you can see at which point of times the GC is getting generated, or the GC is running, or GC is happening, the garbage collection part.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
you won't understand this GC when you are running a small test like the 5 minutes test or 30 minutes test. So if you really want to fix the GC issue, then you would need to run at least for an 8 hours, so that you can understand, okay, at which point of time the memory is getting closer to the upper limit, or it's getting to the maximum limit where the GC is kicks in and it starts doing the garbage collection part. Okay, so you understood, right? So
Okay.
yeah, so that is
Yeah. Yeah.
one way of doing it. So try to run how do I say, soak test, and try to find
Okay.
try to see the garbage collection thing.
So and one more thing, see, I wanted to do POC on different GCs.
Mm.
So like say what the approach is like. Say the approach which I am going to follow is, see, will keep a different GC. See, we have different GCs like the serial GC, parallel GC, CMS, and G1 GC. I mean, these GCs are the commonly used GCs, right?
Mhm,
So I want to do a POC like, see, if I say first I'll go with the parallel GC, changing the argument in my JVM arguments.
mhm,
Then I'll run my PT.
mhm.
Then I will check the GC total GC time and the TPS of the application.
Okay, okay,
So this make any sense? I mean, doing a POC on GC.
okay. So
So,
basically, do you have any idea like how the serial GC or how the parallel GC works?
yeah, that document I have seen, but haven't worked on it.
Mhm. So okay, so the difference between serial and the parallel GC is actually serial is a single threaded approach.
Single, yeah,
So
okay.
they will run one after the other. So the first thread will run and then the second thread. So basically, it's
Mm-hmm.
a single threader, right? But
Mm.
the parallel GC is something like multiple threads thing. So that is the difference between the serial
So
GC and the parallel GC. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, both will use application threads
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
clear the
yeah,
GCs,
yeah,
right?
yeah. See, the thing is, that's what I'm saying. See, uh, to run the application, if you are using single threaded, it will take a lesser CPU. But what happens
Yeah.
is, it will take, I mean, like there will be like multiple passes during the garbage collection. That is with the
Mm-hmm.
serial, because you are running only one single thread, so it won't take much of the memory,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
But when you
Yeah,
are running a parallel
understood.
GC, it will take a higher throughput, because there will be like multiple threads that will be running at the same time. And
Okay,
when it comes to the higher loads, I would prefer parallel GC,
okay,
because
okay.
that will.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
we use, sorry, Vasanta. So we use a huge heap for the application. See, one of my project is using, we are using is 20 GB. So which is having hardly 3 APIs.
Okay, okay.
So for that application, currently we are using is G1 GC, but I'm not sure why we are using that, but I wanted to get exposure on that as
What is
well.
the GC? Can you come again? GM.
G1, G1, G1.
Oh, G1. Okay, 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 okay.
Uh, yeah. So I'm not sure why we are using that, but definitely I want to get exposure on that. So what is the reason why
Okay.
we are
See,
using that?
G1 is mainly designed for the garbage collection, because it is like G1 is garbage first collector. So it's
Uh,
uh, and again, like it's I think it's introduced in Java 7, I believe, for the instead of the
yeah, yeah,
traditional
yeah.
garbage collection algorithm. So this is actually introduced in Java 7, which is like something like the you would have come across the concurrent mark sweep. there is
Yeah, yeah,
another
CMS. Yeah.
CMS, right? Or instead of the parallel GC. So it's this is actually used for more into the past times and to improve the throughput. So that is the reason we have
Yeah.
got this G1 GC. Okay, and
Okay.
I would say there were like few features. If I'm not wrong, I would remember some of the features like the region-based memory management. So that is one
Mm-hmm.
important feature. That's the reason this has been introduced. Okay, so for example,
Okay.
you might have come across this young and old generation objects, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
this
yeah. I know.
GC
Yeah.
is actually having more control on that part.
Okay.
Because it will actually set up it will actually set your GC into equally sized regions so that
Mm-hmm.
there won't be much of a what to say slowness, there won't be much of a bottleneck when it comes to this particular GC.
Okay.
Yeah, and in fact, like I said, the young and old generation. So this will actually divide the heap into younger generations. So there will be more clarity in terms of the GC part. So uh, it will actually what exactly it does is actually it actually moves the live objects from one region to another during the garbage collection. So what happens is there won't be any dead objects or the old
Okay.
objects in your memory. So it will keep only the live objects into the active segment.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Okay.
you are using G1GC, then I would say you are in the latest garbage collection technique, and that's actually been used again in most of the uh, technologies nowadays. It's been used.
Okay.
Um,
So, and one more thing is it clearing the old generation object may take more time compared to younger generation, right? Is my understanding
it should
correct?
not take more time. Yeah. See, clearing should be part of the GC, but actually it
Uh,
should not be the entire thing that's happening. So it should be like part and parcel. It should not. You should not take. You should not use the all the time in doing that.
okay.
Yeah. So I think
Okay.
yeah, this
So,
is actually the I think in every e-commerce platforms I think they were using G1GC. So I would say you are in the right
mm,
track, but the thing is you have to optimize it.
yeah, yeah, I need to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, see, I am doing POCs for myself actually. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
to get more exposure on
Sure. Sure.
the GC part and all. So, and one more thing, see, I am following your videos one by one, some which is more relevant to me.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
So yesterday I have seen one of your videos run JMeter tests on Jenkins.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay.
So you explained very well. I mean, it was like a awesome video for
Thank
me
you. Thank you.
actually. See, I was searching for the videos like this. See, unfortunately I couldn't get it, but yesterday I saw your video. It was really helpful. So you explained like I mean yesterday itself I pinged you. See, can we get a video on scheduling the JMeter runs in Jenkins?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have that. But I tried myself,
No, I think you
Vasant,
are
to
asking
how to.
about the Azure DevOps thing, right?
Azure
Azure
also, but
DevOps in
Jenkins
from the
also I
GitHub.
tried.
You asked, I think.
Yeah,
You are the one who
yeah,
asked that, right? I'm not sure because I got
yeah,
the
yeah.
question.
I'm the one frequently pinging you.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
sorry
okay,
disturbing you.
okay, no problem. Okay.
Actually,
Uh,
yesterday I tried myself
hmm,
to how to schedule JMeter tests in Jenkins. Actually,
okay, okay,
it worked. Actually,
okay. Great, great, great.
it worked. Yeah. So, like the way, and one more question, one more big confusion I'm having is, see, we are running a test, no? So we are running a test on it will run a test on a local only. I mean, so as per your video, it will run a test on a local one because Jenkins is hosted on a local machine,
Yeah.
and the JMeter is also hosted on a local machine.
Okay. So in this scenario, I would say, yeah. So what you said is very right. There were several scenarios where what we do is we used to host the Jenkins in a Linux machine, okay, which is a
Yeah,
Linux server,
correct. Yeah.
and we used
Hmm.
to run our Jenkins from the Linux machine. So when you say you deploy it in your local, so you will have the localhost URL, right?
Yeah,
Okay. The
I have.
same case, if you are hosting it in a Linux environment, we used to get the URL from that location. So which
Yeah,
automatically
correct.
means that any test that you're running will be running from that machine, which is from the Linux machine. You got me right? So that is what has happening, because
Okay. Yeah.
we normally, when we were doing some POC or something like this, we used to use our local machine. But to be honest, all these settings has to be. I mean, if you are doing an actual test like your Jenkins or whatever your
Mhm.
CI/CD plan, so those has to be hosted on a Linux machine, and from there you'll have to pick up the URL, like the URL that you're going to access, and then you have to create a credential and everything. So
Okay.
the I think I have answered your question. If you're hosting your
Yeah.
Jenkins in local machine, yes, you're running your test in a local machine. If you're hosting your Jenkins in a different machine, it can be a Linux or it can be even a Windows machine, but it has to be a remote machine. If, make sure it's like a has a very good configuration. In that case, you can very well use that. That's it. So this is simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So wherever you are hosting, you are running from there. Yeah.
yeah. And one more question, Vasan. Maybe it is taking more time,
No, 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 no.
so
Please,
that
please go ahead.
please bear me.
No, no, no problem.
The thing is, no, see, we can able to run a test where Jenkins is hosted in different machine, our LG is in different machine. I mean, Geometry is in different machine.
Hmm.
Is it possible, right?
See, when it comes to JMeter, we don't have option for LGs in terms of, at least from the testing point, because when you see for neo load or for load runner, we have LGs, load generators.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the mission which we are in, we called as LG. I mean,
We
it is
have
a
some
generally.
agents to run. But
Uh,
in JMeter, we don't have that option. You
yeah,
everything
yeah.
is same, like a controller or load generator, everything is same.
Yeah, it is same.
Yeah,
I mean, it is like a single UI.
exactly, exactly. So
Uh,
the machine that you're hosting is the actual load generator.
yes.
So in that case, you can use the master slave technology, where you can connect any other machine. Like for example, even if you have access to any Linux machines, you can use it very well. You can connect, you can
Okay.
create, you can like use them one of the
Approach
slave,
will be same, right?
master
Approach
slave,
will be same,
master slave.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, whatever the approach we are doing in
yes.
the Windows, like creating a RMA keystroke file.
Everything is going to be the same.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. So my question is, see, my Jenkins is hosted in a different machine. I mean, it
Okay.
is some other Linux machine. My JMeter is hosted in different machine.
No, when you are okay, so when you say your Jenkins, okay, so when you are trying to configure your script, right? Because there will be an option where it will ask you which JMX file you are going to run,
Yeah.
and you will give the location, right?
Hmm.
So that is where it's going to pull up. So it is going to pull
Oh,
the script from
okay.
there, and your Linux machine is going to run the test. So in that case,
Okay.
there won't be any master slave, but it's only going to be your uh, Linux machine that's going to run. But in case if you make some settings in your JMX file in a way that it
Hmm.
can connect to the slave machines, yes, there can be a situation where it can actually utilize the slave as well. But we can confirm everything only after we do a POC kind of thing. So I agree that
Okay.
uh, running a test using the Jenkins will actually utilize your local machine where you have installed Jenkins.
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, we can actually try something like that, and we can even showcase it to everybody. Yeah. We can try that one.
Yeah, even I will also try Vasant. I
Definitely,
mean,
definitely, yeah,
if I get a chance, no, I'll do some POs. I'll
yeah,
share
yeah,
it with
yeah,
you.
definitely. That will be
Maybe it will
helpful.
be useful for your
Sure,
viewers.
sure, sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. And one more thing, Vasant, one more approach. What I'm trying to do is I created a master slave set
Okay,
my
okay,
LGs. I mean, the JMeter machines.
sure, okay.
So, directly I can run in the Jenkins, right, by providing the command jmeter hyphen n hyphen t hyphen l. I mean, there will be additional argument which way where we can start the remote
You're
start.
you're telling the non-GUI code thing, right?
Non-GUI commands where we are giving in the Jenkins configuration, no?
Mm-hmm.
So in the build steps.
Yeah,
So the same way we can give that the JMeter hyphen n for non-GMO, T for test plan, hyphen n for location and for the JTL
a file. Yeah,
file
yeah,
generation. And there will be additional argument which we can run the remote, I mean remote start
yeah,
where
yeah,
we
yeah.
can
You
give
can
the
do.
remote
Yeah, you
start,
can very
right?
well do that. Yeah.
Yeah, directly we can do. I
Yes,
mean whatever
yes.
the Jenkins test what we are doing,
Hmm.
same way we can do with the master slave setup
Yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah. You can do it. You can do it. Anyways, it's We just need some triggering mechanism. That's it. It can be anything.
Okay,
Yeah, you can very
okay.
well do that. Yeah.
So, and one more thing, see, yes, in your video, you have installed two plugins, which is a plot plugin and performance plugin.
Okay.
So, both are used for the performance testing results, plotting the trends, or the purpose is same. I mean,
You mean in the
both the plugins
Jenkins
purpose is same.
Jenkins
Yeah, yeah,
plugin?
in the Jenkins.
Yeah, yeah. Mostly
Yeah.
it's used to run the performance testing and for the reporting as well. The HTML reporting.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, okay. And both the plugins, I mean, mechanisms for the both the plugins are almost same, right?
Okay. So in that case, I would say I think it's a kind of an old plugin, and this one is the latest, I believe, because I think I'm having this for a long time. So maybe that could be a reason. Like, but I would say you can use both the plugins because they will actually bring some features to your testing.
Okay, I mean the video is a bit old, right? I mean a year, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah. It's a bit old. Yeah.
I mean any new plugins we have, I mean that you can
For
suggest.
performance testing, maybe I can check if there is any, and then yeah, we'll bring it to a table if
Sure,
there is anything. Yeah, that is helpful,
sure.
at least for the JMeter or for the performance testing. Yeah, we'll definitely bring it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Coming to Azure, no. So I have seen that video as well. I mean running test from Azure pipeline,
Mhm.
right? So, from which machine it will run the test actually? See,
Uh,
uh, s- uh, we are not giving any machine details over there. I mean, from which machine it will run the test actually?
okay, so if you see in the very first step of your task, hi Venkat, hi. Okay, I think Venkat.
Hi, sir.
Hi Venkat, yeah. We have Sanjay also in the call. So Sanjay has some questions. So first I'll answer it. If you have any questions, then we'll come back to you. Okay.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah, sure.
sure.
Thanks. So Sanjay, yeah. So when you were creating the pipeline, so if you see there is a step, the very first step where you have the agent pool,
Yeah,
that is
yeah, yeah. I
where,
see.
yeah, that is where your test is going to run. So the agent pool machine that you
Okay,
are configuring is where the exact test is going to run, and it can be anything. It can be your Linux or it can be a Windows. And if you are an organization, so I think the infrastructure team will take care of it. Like they will set up multiple agent pools, like the AKS
okay.
clusters. We know the Kubernetes, the
Mhm.
pods. So that
Yeah,
will only do that particular action. Like it will pick up the task and it will run it, and then once the test is over, it'll automatically delete it, and then a new I mean like every dependency will be deleted, and it will be as a new as what it is. So yeah, they can be
okay.
either a runner, Kubernetes runners, or they can be a Windows runners, or they can be even Linux agents. So
So
yeah.
the you used agent pool, right?
Hmm,
Sorry,
hmm.
you used agent pool, right? So will it take? I mean, see, generally for the load test, right? See, we need LGs with more configuration.
Hmm.
So you use agent pool, right? It will take a default machine, inbuilt machine in Azure, or how it will
Yeah, yeah,
work?
yeah. Whatever machine you are picking up during the first step, during the agent pools thing, that is the only thing that's going to be
Mhm.
getting selected.
That is a default machine provided by Azure.
No, not from Azure. That's what I'm saying. So
Huh.
you there will be like multiple agent pools. So when you
Mm-hmm.
were
Okay.
okay, if you okay, let me just share my screen. I'll show you how does it
Sure,
work.
sure. Yeah.
Let me know when you can see my screen. Okay, here, yeah.
Are you sharing?
Yeah, yeah, I'm just sharing it. Let me know when you can see it.
It is loading.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, now
now you
getting
can see,
it.
right? Okay. So here I have a project and my releases. Yeah. So if I'm going to one of my release and logs, and if you can see this particular, so when I go to task, you can see this agent job, right? And here you can see the
Mm-hmm.
pool. So this is the machine. So here you can see hosted Windows 2019 with
Hosted
ES
Windows.
2019. So this is the pool which I'm using. So if I want to change it,
So I mean, it is your machine or else?
that is my machine,
I
my
mean,
local machine.
oh,
Yeah.
okay,
And if
okay,
I
okay.
click on manage, right? If I click on manage, it will take me to this particular point. where if you can see here, right,
Oh.
I have agent pools. So I currently I have no
Mhm.
job that I have running in the agent pools. But if I want to host, I can add it here. I can add
Mhm.
multiple
Okay.
agents here. Okay,
Okay.
and I can use them. So that is what I'm saying. So since this is a kind of a free tier, I have no access to adding other than any other thing, any other agents. But
So how you provided the name? I mean, what is the name which you have provided? I mean, you got it from the command prompt.
that's default. That's default what you are running. So
Host name.
yeah,
Host
if you
name.
can go here, let me show you. So this will actually, okay, let me show you the other way. Just a second. So I'm going to the pipelines. So the release pipeline. And if you can see here, job again. So when you select an agent job, so here you have
Mhm.
got multiple options, right? So I can even choose Azure pipeline. So these are like hosted. Azure, I can choose Azure pipeline, or I can.
Mhm.
So every time when I choose the hosted Windows 2019 with VS 2019. So this is the default thing which I have, and I can even select the default agents as well. So if I'm having multiple agents, so for example, if I click on the pool
Mhm.
information, you can see I have got if there are any pool information, I can collect it from here. And if I click on manage, like
Okay.
if I have multiple agents, see, I can create even the agents here. It can be a Mac Windows agent, or it can be a Mac agent, or it can be Linux agent. So I can create one if I have the options to do it. So
Okay.
this is the machine that I'm going to use it, right? So since I
Okay.
have,
So
yeah,
if you create the agents of Linux, I can see that see mkdir under that. So it will create a folder and it will push our files to that
in
folder.
this machine, yeah,
That will be,
yeah, in this
yeah.
machine, yep, yep.
That will be like a target folder.
Yes, that will be like your source folder, yeah,
Okay.
yes, yes.
So, say whatever the files we have pushed in our repo, no, the same files. I mean, if we give this agent, I mean Linux agent, no, if we use that, so the all the files which we are having in our repo, no, those files will be available in Linux after the release.
Uh, no, can you come again? Come again, please. Sorry.
So, please click on the Linux.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is a create agent.
So yeah, this is to create the agent and all. It has nothing to do with the test for now.
Oh,
Yeah. So like
okay,
the agent
okay,
which I
okay.
have now, right? This one, the hosted
Mm-hmm.
Windows thing. So I can create another agent. If you have access to a Linux machine, you can do this. So you can download the agent and you can create this agent in your machine, and you can configure this. So that's what I'm saying. So all these things you can create in that machine.
Okay.
Yeah. So it can be an ARM machine, or it can be ARM 64. Mostly, if you are doing a RHEL 6, or it can be x64, you can use it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So we use Linux only. See, Windows is just for
yeah. Windows is always
working out the things.
yeah, yeah. So Linux is actually quite stronger when it compared to Windows in terms of the performance and for the hosting the applications.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I agree with that point. Yeah.
yeah.
Sure. So maybe so in terms of agents, yeah, I think you can use this way. Maybe I can even add another
Uh,
video. I think I have did it already, but I can add a video on this, like how to create an agent and how to configure that in your DevOps. Yeah. But yeah, I would say
so I try to create actually a Azure portal. I mean,
okay, okay.
but unfortunately I couldn't wasn't because I don't know some issue I'm getting say with my cards and all. I mean, while providing the card details, no, so after that I can't able to move on. Actually, I'm not sure the
Oh,
issue.
okay.
So today I will try. I will
Sure, sure.
post you the issue so you can
Definitely,
help me.
definitely. That'll be helpful. Yeah, sure, sure. Sure then. Okay.
Thanks.
Sh-
And
yeah.
the video wasn't say we required is see how to schedule the runs in Azure pipelines and as well as in the GitHub.
Let me add. So, which question you're telling about? Did you add that question already here?
Mm, I have yeah 14th one.
How to schedule JMeter test in Azure pipeline? Okay. So when it comes to schedule, I think I have added already that to that video. So there is an option. Okay, let me show you that since you are already online. If we go here and go to the pipeline, um, let me click. Can you see this button here? This one. So if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
I can
click
see.
on that, you
Yeah.
can see this schedule option. So here you can set up the schedule
Okay.
where you can set up at what time you want to run the test and on every day.
Oh,
Yeah. So this will
nice,
actually
nice,
trigger the
nice.
test and make sure you have to keep this machine running because only then it will pick up the job.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the reason most of the time we
Understand. I
use
mean,
a remote agent pool because the remote agent pool will be online all the time,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So automatically the task will be picked up.
yeah,
So this is actually one way where
yeah.
you can do this thing. Yeah.
Uh, and one more thing is this is having pretty easy option when compared to Jenkins. Jenkins where we need to provide the cron
Cron
jobs.
job, exactly. Yeah. And again, the timing,
Yeah,
day, everything.
and
Yeah.
one more thing, see, yeah, yeah, and one more question is, see, during the scheduled time now, see, currently I'm running in the local, so the local should be, I mean, system should be turned on, or
Yeah.
else,
Yeah. Turned on because only then this will run. That's what
uh,
I'm saying. If you
okay,
configure this in some remote agents, those agents will be
uh,
available all the time and they will pick the job and they will run. So that's the
yeah,
reason.
correct,
That's the
correct.
difference between a local and a remote agent or something, Linux agent.
Understand. That is what, see, morning I was checking, so why my test was not running. See,
Uh,
even I am giving the
if you
client
if you
jobs.
keep on running, right, if you keep your machine online, like switched on, automatically it will run because see, it's at the end of the day, it's all the services, the task, everything you have in your machines. Like if you
Oh, okay.
the task manager, if you see, they have these services, right? So these services will run only when your machine is online, right? So that's the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like this is something like a similar to a service. So only if your service is
Yeah.
online, if your machine is online, the services will run, and that will run the task. So same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, this makes sense. The our LGs will be online every time, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, got
Okay.
it.
Great.
Thanks.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Fine.
So
Yeah.
GitHub, we have the option, right? I mean, GitHub.
Yeah. Yeah. GitHub, we can do the actions part, right? The actions where you can run the test.
GitHub, I haven't seen that. I mean,
Oh.
currently I'm working with Jenkins
Okay.
only. I mean, uh,
Okay. Let
I'm
me
trying different scenarios in Jenkins
share.
also.
Okay. GitHub is actually quite easy when I would say I have some of the workflows. If you can see my screen, I have some actions. So these are some of the workflows which automatically runs automatically.
Oh, okay.
So since I haven't done it for a long time, I haven't updated for a long time. It has been disabled. But if you see, they were running daily at around 11 p.m. or something. Yeah, I can show the time as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Yeah. So they will run. Actually, this is one of the example which I have created to run daily. So if you see, they run at automatically like 11:56 time, and I can even show
Okay.
you what happened. So you see, I have started this job at 11:54. So every day they used to run because this is I think you must have know how a cron job works, right? So this is a command
Yeah,
for
yeah, I
the
know that.
minute and this is for the time. So at 11:54 this
Yeah,
will run,
right.
and for
And day,
every day.
day,
Since I made it like
yeah,
star, it runs for every day.
start every
If
day.
I
Yeah.
make it like 1 to 5, it will run from Monday to Friday, and if it's like 1 to
The
6
last one we can
for the
mention, no?
day.
We
Yeah,
can remove the last star. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I think you have got very good exposures. Yeah. So same thing. So the more you can play with the cron job, you can run the test. So this actually will run this particular test. Like this is to run print a hello message. That's it. So I have even made some other changes.
So
Yeah, but this is what it's running.
this looks like a AML,
YAML file. Yeah,
like.
YAML file. Yeah. If you can see, I can show you that
Oh,
file here.
okay.
It's more of an YAML file.
I haven't gone through this video.
Ah, okay. So
Definitely,
if you
I'll
can
complete
see
it sooner
here,
or later.
I can even show you the YAML file. So this is the file that's been used. It's
Okay.
a YAML file. It's a cronjob.yaml file that's been
Hmm.
used for this particular workflow action.
I mean, this is a basic template of AML for every JMeter test.
No, this is for just
That
to
is it.
print a message. If you want to run a test, then basically we'll have to make some changes to it. You'll have to bring
Okay.
the JMX file. You have to refer the location. There is like few more tweaking that's required, but I can make some video on that as well. Yeah, maybe I can
Yeah, yeah.
add that to the list.
I mean, this will become a series. I mean, that would be helpful for many
Sure,
actually.
sure. Mm. Able to test using GitHub. Let me just add your name so that I don't forget it. Yep.
Sure. I mean, most of the questions are mine only.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's always good. The more questions we ask, the more we learn. So, okay, fine. I'll just try to make it. Okay. Cron job project address is GitHub. Okay, fine.
Sure.
Okay, great, great.
Only I'm asking the questions. Venkatesh, if you have any questions, you
Yeah, hi
please go ahead.
Venkat, how are you?
Yeah, hi sir. How are you?
Good, good,
I'm
good.
good. Hi Sanjay.
Yeah, hi Venkat.
Yeah, Venkat. So you have
Uh, uh,
anything to ask?
yeah, yeah. I too had the same doubt. What he has asked before in the Azure pipeline. So now I will ask another question. I think I have already pinged you before in WhatsApp and LinkedIn regarding this correlation challenges that we are facing in JMeter and Loader.
Hmm, hmm.
So wherever we go, they are asking only these questions.
Ah, okay,
So
okay, okay.
that's why I thought of asking.
Oh, the interview questions, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. I'm just preparing some of them, but the thing is like if I can get some questions, some real time questions, if you are facing it, then it's easy for me to create it because this correlation, right? They were in different
Yeah,
forms, and it depends on the interviewer who is going to ask you. But uh, so if I can get some samples, some questions on that, then yeah, it will be very easy for me to create a solution for that. So if you can
okay.
share me some questions, some of your friends might have been attending it. So if you can
Yeah,
share
yeah.
them, it will be easy for me to create those videos. Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that one
Okay.
more thing?
Mm.
See, post process we are using for the correlation in JMeter, right? See, for XML content, we can use boundary or regular expression
Hmm, hmm,
extractor, right?
hmm,
So currently, I'm using see most of the responses is in JSON only
hmm,
for my
hmm,
applications. I'm using JSON path
hmm,
extractor.
hmm.
I mean, it is pretty much useful actually. I mean, it is very good. I mean, it is very powerful, I would say.
Hmm, hmm.
So, I mean, most of the people may not have exposure on JSON path extractor, but
Yeah. See, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. It
it is.
depends on which application has been built. See, there were like several regular expressions that's been used in JMeter. Like you have
Hmm, hmm,
JSON,
hmm.
you have CSS, you have the
Yeah,
normal regular expression. So, uh, if you are not able to find your right boundary and left boundary in one particular expression, you can find it in a different one because in several scenarios it helped me. Most of the times in initial days, I used to only use regular expressions and I could not find the exact boundaries which I want to test. But when I'm moving slowly to some other expressions, like some other extractors, I was able to fix it. So the thing is, you
okay.
have to bring in all the other. Okay, let me. I can show you some example as well. Let me share my screen because
Sir, will
recently.
you share this video
Yeah,
later?
yeah, yeah.
Will you share this
I'll
video?
just post this
Yeah,
video at the end. Yeah, yeah, in
sure.
our
Yeah, okay.
channel.
Thank
Yeah, sure.
you.
Entire screen.
Yeah.
So if you can see my screen, let me just open the.
Wasn't that
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
request?
Please go ahead.
You can paste the thread dump and heat dump GC log
Video. Ah,
video
yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that.
and
I
click
wanted
on
to
the
paste
extend.
this, but since I was like busy in the week, so I was not able to do it. I'll just
Yeah, yeah,
add
yeah.
all
Okay.
those links as well because I think most of the questions are answered already, but all these were like some of them were new. Yeah, I agree, but I'll just add them. And let me just
Sure.
open one of it. Okay. Yeah, I'll just do it today. And
Hmm.
yep, if you can see here, we have this HTTP request, right? And if I'm running it just for a single thread. Okay. Let me just run a sample of it. I think, yeah, this one. Okay. And if you see when it comes to the response data, this is a simple data, right? You are seeing in the text,
Yeah.
but at the same
Yeah.
time, if you are there are like different testers here, like for example, the regex tester. If you see, when you see with the regex tester, the div ID and everything will be different. But at the same time, if you're
Hmm.
using uh, the CSS,
Boundary.
yeah, so if you see the CSS, right, automatically there will be a little bit of difference, I would say, and even with the XPath tester. So every single, so this is actually a very basic application. So you might not be seeing a huge difference, but I would say when it comes to a real-time application with all the components. So when you are changing this particular thing, the XPath tester or the queries, actually the queries also will change. So based on that,
Okay.
you can actually find your right and left boundary. And in some of the scenarios where the regex will not work, but the XPath tester will work. Okay, so the thing
Okay.
is you have to use every tester here, and you can use those expressions here. For example, here you are using a regular expression extractor, right? At the same time, you can use the others as well. Like for example, um, the XPath extractor here, you can use that. Or if you are using some other extractors, like for example, your this JSON
So
extractor,
these
yeah.
comes with additional plugins, right?
Yeah, I believe this one is an additional one, JSON XPath extractor, but I can show you that. You can go to the plugins manager, and yes, I think they come up with some additional thing. Yes, here if you can see the JSON XML YAML plugin. Yep. So they were like some additional
Yeah.
one. So yeah. So you can add more plugins to your testing, and that will actually help you to extract more values. So yeah, just using regular expression extractor is a very basic one, but you can start using the other extractors as well. That will help you to bring in more values. The XPath, because nowadays everything comes with XPath, so you can very well use the XPath thing.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And one more
yeah.
thing we can do is we can directly. I mean, I I believe most of the people creating the API scripting manually, right? I mean, as you know, in the JMeter,
Hmm.
manually adding the HTTP
Yeah,
requests
yeah.
and all. So there is another way where we can directly upload the curl in the JMeter. If we go to the options,
Okay.
options, not tools, go to the tools.
Uh-huh.
There is an option called import curl
Yeah,
list
yeah, the
API.
curl script. Yeah, yeah. If you are having the
Yeah,
URL, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that's another
yeah,
option.
yeah, curl,
I think I
yeah.
have even made one video on that. We had recently had an
Oh,
issue where
okay, okay.
the authentication part they came with the
Oh,
curl thing. So
okay.
we are supposed to create the authentication part using the curl. So I use this. So I remember. Yeah, we can use this curl as well. Uh, see,
But
yeah.
see, sometimes it will not give exact thing which we require. I mean, there will be a mismatches like having extra spaces in the. I mean, we need to be very careful when we use this
Yeah, I
section.
agree that. I agree. See, mostly this is something like a command line URL. See, URL we normally do using GUI way.
Ah,
This is the command line URL. So that's the curl. C is command line for the URL.
yeah,
That's similar to the
URL,
API
yeah.
thing. So yeah, I agree with your point. So this is actually more useful in terms of the API thing. And like you said, see, the first thing is like every time when you create
I
the
mean, it is
script,
like a time saver.
exactly, exactly. That's a time saver
Yeah.
because the moment you run this, automatically it will create the request, response, everything will be there, and you can create the test plan and you can start running it. Yeah, I agree with that.
And directly we can browse the this one also, right? Postman file and create a test plan.
Sorry.
We can directly browse the Postman file. Right? I mean, if we have the Postman
Hmm.
file in hand, so we can directly browse the Postman file and click on create test plan.
Yeah, yeah,
Directly,
you
it will
can do
create
that. You
all
can
the
do that
API.
because see, most of the times what happens is some people might be having issues in how to say like to get the file from Postman because they will have like you said, most of the people will what they do is like they used to use the exact URL from the Postman to the JMeter and they will not be able to create it. So in those
Mm.
scenarios, this will help.
Yeah,
And in fact, I have even created another video on this. Like if you are having your Postman script, you can even automatically
okay.
convert it from there from the Postman to the JMeter. You can I
Yeah,
even added that technique as well, how to do that. So in
okay,
fact, if you have some time, you can
okay.
watch it. So that will actually be more helpful because you can capture the request and without any issues, like you said, right? The issues of having the spaces, some typo and everything. So those
Yeah,
issues
yeah.
will be avoided if you can record it directly from Postman to JMeter.
Oh, we can record
Yeah, yeah,
JMeter
yeah,
script
yeah, yeah. From
using
Postman. Yeah, yeah,
Postman.
yeah. I have. If you want, I can even share that link as well. I can update that.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can do that. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
more
please.
simple. Like you can just run it and it will be automatically captured.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That I'm not aware of actually. Okay. So you can paste that link in
Yeah.
the in our Excel
Let
something
me
like that. We have
just a
to
second.
mention.
Actually, I can. Yeah, I have another column here which I can paste it sometime. But here, give me a second. Just let me just paste it.
So
Uh,
for thread dump analysis and for heap dump, you have already made a video,
yeah,
right?
yeah, I have made several videos. I
Still
will
they
paste those link today here. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I'll paste those links.
Okay.
For
In the fifth line, they have
Yeah,
mentioned as video
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. I've made multiple videos on GC. How does it work? And most about the young
Yeah, yeah.
generation, old generation, and thread dumps, heap dumps. Yeah, I'll just add it. And in fact, Sanjay has given some ideas on the latest rules, the JFRs, and even what GC they were using. So I can even discuss those videos as well, like what GC is more optimized and which is
Okay.
more towards the performance testing. Yeah, I can add those as well, latest videos as well. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. And yeah, Venkat, is there any other questions you have we can discuss?
As of now, I don't
Oh,
have
okay,
any, sir.
fine. No problem. We will catch up next week again the same time, and then we'll discuss some other
Sure.
questions. Okay,
Sure.
sure, fine then.
Yeah.
It's
Sure.
great meeting you guys. Yeah. Thanks
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Thanks for all
Thanks to
your.
you, Vasant,
Thank you, sir.
actually.
Not a problem.
Thanks.
Not a problem.
Thanks for your time, sir.
Not a problem.
Yeah, Vasant, you can page that link
Ah,
so
yeah,
so that
I'll
it
do
will
that
go
today.
good and
Yeah,
all that.
sure.
Yes.
And again, thanks Sanjay, thanks Venkat for joining, and thanks Sanjay for sharing me. You have given me a lot
Thank
of
you.
knowledge today.
Sir.
Thanks, and yeah, we'll
Yeah,
have much more meetings, and then yeah, we'll.
sure,
It's
sure, Vasant.
always
See, whatever the queries we have
yeah,
now,
yeah.
so we'll keep on updating this section.
Sure, sure, sure.
So, yeah,
Okay, great.
all the best, Vasant, for your
Nice to
channel.
meet you. Yeah, we'll catch up next time then,
Thank
next week. Yeah, thank you.
Sure, sure,
Yeah, thank you.
Vasant. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you, guys.
I'll post this video shortly in the channel sometime today, and then everybody
Yeah.
can.
Sure, sure, Vasant.
Yeah,
Sure.
thank you then. Yeah, bye, bye.
Okay. Bye.